So hi again, everyone. I'm here today presenting a research about the role of open source data in disaster preparedness and response. It's a case study done on flood impact in local communities. Yep, I'll be here. And I'm here today presenting in behalf of Adeola, who couldn't be here today. Unfortunately, she is a surveyor and a youth mapper and part of the HOT mentorship program under my supervision. Um, Flooding is the most frequent and devastating natural hazards affecting urban areas and others, and especially we were interested in looking flooding impacts and how the use of open source data could help in data scarce environments like Lagos in Nigeria. So the study explored how open source geospatial tools like OpenStreetMap data, remote sensing data, and community collected data could bridge those gaps, demonstrating how participatory mapping could enhance situational awareness, improving emergency planning, and um, building resilience on local communities. The aim of the study was to address data gaps in public spatial data sets. Mainly, we focused on looking at OpenStreetMap data. We tried to enlarge these data by involving communities and global mappers to see how we could improve the data and the critical infrastructure of data. We involved integrating satellites-based land cover analysis to map flood extent and vulnerability, combining field collected data to use for validation for the collected data on OpenStreetMap and providing of evidence-based recommendation to strengthen disaster planning. Um, as I mentioned, we use three main types of data in our framework, looking at different satellite imagery, OpenStreetMap data, and field surveys to later on go into analysis to see the flood extent in Lagos in Nigeria. Lagos was chosen as a rapidly urbanizing coastal area that still unfortunately remained very unmapped in OpenStreetMap before we started the study, and it is categorized by low um, elevation, block drainage, and informal developments. Looking at satellite data, we used the imageries from 6 years, used quantum GIS for processing, looked into NDVI and classified flooded and non-flooded areas. It showed around a 25% increase in waterlogged areas. Um, the analysis for the residential area and infrastructure showed around 40% of homes in flood zones were affected, and urban sprawl increased impermeable surfaces. To increase the mapping in OpenStreetMap, we created some community mapping tasks and launched it with humanitarian OpenStreetMap help and campaign. We mobilized local and remote volunteers and mapped around 16,000 buildings, 30 roads, and 5 health centers. Then we went into ground field surveying and developed around above 150 surveys to validate the data, and we found out that 62% of the homes were damaged, 70% of the roads, um, and the results were shown in GIS. For more, you can look at the research, but we found out that open source data could help, but it needs validation and additional sources to complete the data. Thank you.